a tough few years for the record shop HMV, as 120 of its UK stores were forced to close due to the pandemic. And with millions of us now streaming music, there were fears that 100-year-old business would soon become extinct.
But now HMV has said it'll open 10 new stores later this year, restoring hope that other much-loved former shops might reappear on the high street.
With us now to speak about HMV's comeback is music journalist David Sinclair. David, good to have you with us here on GB News. What's all this about? How come HMV are returning to our high street?
Sounds like a miracle, doesn't it, Liam? I mean, the idea that HMV is still going might actually surprise quite a lot of people. The answer really is twofold, I think. It went into administration as recently as 2018, and the company was acquired by a Canadian operation called Sunshine Records, and they've got a bit of money to invest. But the fact is that actually, along with a lot of other, whilst their physical retail operation obviously ground to a halt during the pandemic, their online retail operation actually did remarkably well. They actually doubled their takings, their profits over that period. And I think also another strand of this is that without all these festivals and concerts that everybody's not now able to go to, or indeed spend their disposable income on, there's a lot more money and time that people have got, which they're investing in recorded music. And of course, recorded music, that's HMV is a byword in terms of where you go to get it.
And will the new HMVs resemble the old HMVs? I'm talking about the ones that we used to go to in our youth, where we browse the LPs. God, I really am 100.
And the singles. And the singles.
And the singles.
78s.
And you'd sort of go there almost for, you know,
to pose.
An hour of free browsing. So much to do.
Yeah, they were wonderful places, weren't they, back in the day? And you would go and hang out and buy posters and all sorts of things, and the latest whatever. But they'd already changed an awful lot, actually, by the time the 2000s came around. And I mean, you could buy computer games, and you would get software and hardware, and you get all sorts of things that actually, you know, you wouldn't traditionally associate with an HMV record shop, or indeed with any record shop back from the day. But I think there has been, in recent times, another reason that these stores will be opening and that the retail sector is doing so surprisingly well in this regard is the resurgence of vinyl. Vinyl records has been a kind of driving force in terms of retail at street level in recent years. And I think that you'd be surprised, actually, that you go into an HMV now, you would probably find more vinyl records in the racks than you would have done 10 years ago to thumb through as in the old ways, you know. I think also that nowadays record shops, HMV shops, are fantastically well equipped. You know, in the old days you had to kind of pile into a little old listening booth, didn't you, and sort of hope that you could get your turn to hear whatever it was. But now they've got all sorts of, you've got headphones, you've got stands, you know, posts all over the place, and you can check out all sorts of things, and they're wonderful places to go, really.
David, let's just talk about vinyl a little bit more. I know during this lockdown, my record collection's been raided by my kids. It's the only time they've ever thought I was cool. I actually have some records that their friends think are worth listening to. Is this about kids wanting to get into sort of things that are retro, or is it old stages like you and me trying to relive our youth, or a bit of both?
I think it's probably a bit of both, to be honest. I think the fact is, people like a tangible monument, a memento, not a monument particularly, but a memento. Or some of these box sets are like monuments, to be honest. You know, you can buy things now which are, you know, 120 tracks all sort of beautifully packaged of everything that, whoever it is, you know, that you're thinking of, the Clash or whoever. And you can get some fantastic artifacts now, that the artwork and everything is brilliant. But I think there is quite a bit of it is the sort of heritage industry, if you like, or a sort of people such as ourselves who want to get a kind of retrospective, you know, they're looking back, as it were. But I think also there is a younger component. You know, there is signs that the younger generation is buying into it. You know, they have Record Store Day as an annual event now, which which takes place in April every year. And that's just gone from strength to strength, and you have queues of people outside the stores, and that's a lot of young people get involved in that. They get very excited about it. It's like a treasure hunt, you know. And so I think the industry has done quite a lot and vinyl particularly has been a touchstone format in terms of getting people interested in music. You know, there's something cool about having a phonogram and a needle and the whole sort of business of putting a record on. It's like it takes you back to an era. It introduces young people to an era that we're familiar with, but to them it's something pretty amazing. You know, it's pretty unusual.
Whatever next, lava lamps. Dave Sinclair,
right.
Great to talk to you, music journalist there. Thanks for appearing on GB News. We appreciate it.
Well, the Olympics kicked off on Friday, and already Team GB are going